Hey, welcome to the Pharmacy Residency Podcast, a member of the Pharmacy Podcast Network. I want to give you a reason to apply to more sites, and I don't mean to freak you out, but I'm going to use math to do it. Okay, so the total number of applications for residency was 88,375. Total applicants 8,066 last year. Average of 11 sites per applicant, and that's what most people hear is that, okay, we apply to a dozen sites on average. But this is the issue. The total number of references was only 74,078, and the total references was 19,900 for only 3.72 recommendations per reference. Okay? So that should put up a red flag immediately that people are not asking people to go for 12 sites. So like the recommender isn't writing 12 recommendations, although I did do that with a couple last year. What I'm going to do is give you some math to minimize the burden, but also minimize the risk. So here's the math. If you have a pool of recommenders, and I'm going to use 5, because you should be in block 6 or block 5, depending on if you're doing 5-week or 6-week rotations. Your number of recommenders is 3, and if you're going to use the math to have a pool of 5 and a number of recommenders of 3, then the math would be n factorial over r factorial times n minus r factorial to give you that 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 5 over 1 times 2 times 3 times 2 times 1, which is 20 over 2, which equals 10. So in letters, that works out to ABC, ABD, ABE, ACD, ACE, ADE, BCD, BCE, BDE, and CDE. Okay. The reason you do this and the reason why you want to minimize your risk is that let's say there's a bad apple or a bad recommendation in there. When you increase your number of sites and you continue to maintain this diversity where you're using the maximum number of different recommenders for each site, you have only a 40% chance of getting good, 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 or good, good, neutral if you have 3 good recommenders, 1 neutral recommender, and 1 bad recommender. Okay? You have a 60% chance of getting a bad recommendation in there. Now, 2 of them would be good and 1 would be bad in 3 of those cases. So if you want to say, well, the goods will outweigh the bad, maybe, I don't know. But the reason you increase your recommendations isn't just to apply to more sites to see if you can find a better match, but the other thing is that you need to hedge against the risk of having a bad recommendation or a neutral recommendation. Now you can do this math for yourself. All you have to do is just change the n's and the r's. Again, it's n factorial over r factorial minus r factorial times n minus r factorial, where n is the pool of recommenders. Maybe it's only 4 for you. Maybe it's 6 for you. And then the number of recommenders is going to probably be 3 for everybody. So anyway, I hope that helps you. But the average was 11 last year, but there's good reason to maybe even double from 10 to 20 so that you have 8 out of those 20, if you had 1 bad recommender, will be good, good, neutral, or good, good, good.